Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. We're having a totally virtual workshop on the South Central Water, once called Supply Workshop. The name's evolved to Demand. That might tell us something about what we're facing today. And with that, I'll call on our County Administrator, Ms. Wise.
Thank you. And thank you, commissioners. And yes, a completely virtual workshop today. And so no votes to be taken, but certainly a lot of discussion, hopefully. And today we're going to focus on water supply in South County and the Water Resources Department's plan to address pressure and flow concerns. And several months ago, both Commissioner Smith and Cohen shared a graph that they had received when they attended a Tampa Bay Water Board meeting. And that graph definitely showed that there were constraints on water supply. We're going to speak a bit to that today and how our staff has been working very closely together with the folks over at Tampa Bay Water to ensure that our supply and needs are all met. George Cassady is going to provide an overview of the Water Resources Department, a summary of the efforts in South County to improve water delivery, and then the funding plan for longer term needs as well. We have Tampa Bay Water's General Manager Chuck Hardin and Tampa Bay Water's Chief Technical Officer Ken here today as well, and they are available for any questions after the presentation for you as well. So with that, I will turn it over to George Cassady to go through the PowerPoint presentation with you.
Thank you, Ms. Wise.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Madam Chair, I need to perform the roll call.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. Okay, so if we could have a roll call, please.
Kemp?
Yeah, here.
Cohen?
Here.
Hagan?
Here.
Myers?
Here.
Overman?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
White?
Here.
All right, thank you.
Seemed too simple. Thank you. And we'll go back now at this point to, I guess you had just introduced Mr. Cassady.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Commissioners. George Cassady, Public Utilities. And I've got a presentation I'm going to go ahead and share, and hopefully this will come through and everybody will be able to see it. Is it coming through okay?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So great. So today we're going to talk about South County and whether it's a supply or demand issue. We've certainly got challenges on both sides for Tampa Bay Water and for Hillsborough County. So we will use those words maybe interchangeably, but really and truly on the demand side, it's Hillsborough County's need for water. And on the supply side, it's Tampa Bay Water's ability to provide us that water. So today, I'm going to go over our water resources system, just a quick overview for the benefit of our new commissioners who maybe are not so familiar with our enterprise operation. Certainly the meat of this presentation is going to be talking about our operating challenges in the South area. And then lastly, as Ms. Wise had given you a heads up, we're going to be talking about projects and plans to be able to get in front of flow and pressure issues coming up in the next couple of years. So first of all, our service area is actually Hillsborough County is divided geographically by the city of Tampa. We effectively have two service areas, the Northwest and the South Central. The Northwest has two wastewater plants, two water plants. The South Central, 3 wastewater plants, 2 water plants. And we have a lot of infrastructure. I'll tell you that we're a large utility by definition. We're probably in the top 50 of the United States in terms of size. And that's when you take into account number of customers served and total water delivered to our customers. Just a little fun fact, because we were talking about numbers earlier. If you take all of our piping and we're to add up all the piping and lay it end to end, it's enough piping to go from here to Los Angeles and then from Los Angeles almost to Honolulu, Hawaii. It's a lot of infrastructure. our assets total replacement value around $3.5 billion. It's a big program. So over the last couple of years, we've identified 5 priority areas for funding, and operations and maintenance is certainly one of them. That's our day-to-day running of the business, and that's super important to maintain a good operating system. Repair and replacement, as I said, we've got a lot of assets in our inventory that requires that we update and keep reliability at the very, very top of our list of things to do. We want to make sure that our pumps pump and our pipes are solid. So repair and replacement is very important to us. We've already talked in the past about new water and wastewater treatment plants in the south area. We will need new capacity on the water side. We will need new wastewater capacity as well, because if you're delivering water, you're also receiving wastewater. Several years ago, the board made it very clear that a septic to sewer program was important. Groundwater protection was important. So we've got that listed in our priorities, as well as the low pressure sewer system conversion. These are our top 5 funding priorities. You'll see this as a recurring theme as we go through the presentation. If we take a deeper dive into the South Central area in terms of what we have there, in fact, this is a picture of our Lithia plant. Our Lithia plant is probably approaching 40 years old. It's a fantastic operation. It's been very well maintained and operated. The South Central area is really about 2/3 of our entire customer base. It has grown and outgrown the Northwest significantly. Again, we've got 3 wastewater plants. We've got 2 water plants. So back in June of this past year, we had a presentation that we made to the board, and in that presentation, we identified what we needed to do down south, and that was we have increasing water demand in South County. We've got high demand periods where we're having low pressure areas in our customer base, and we identified that we needed new capacity no later than 2023. And on the wastewater side, again, it was as you fill the bucket up, you need to either be prepared to make a new bucket or increase the size of the bucket that you're treating in. So we need new wastewater capacity also by 2023. Looking at the South Central area and the driver of all of this demand and all these capacity needs, from the water resources perspective, we look at our service area in the South and we look at what's been committed. And when I say committed, those are developments that are on the books right now in the next 5 years. Those are developments that we have to prepare to provide service, whether it's water or whether it's wastewater. So right now, we've got a total of about 23,000 new connections that we need to be prepared to make over the next 5 to 6 years. That's going to represent just by itself 6 million gallons of drinking water per day. It's a pretty sizable commitment, and we need to be prepared to deliver. This is a graph that you saw several months ago. It's been slightly revised. The initial graph had the green bar in it, where it showed Tampa Bay Water's ability to pump based on their permitted capacity. It also showed Hillsborough County's demand curve over the foreseeable future. And we refer to 2024 and 2028 as pinch points, where the demand met the capability of supply. We talked at length with Tampa Bay Water, and we want to make sure that we're not in a place where we open up the tap and nothing comes out. And so Tampa Bay Water revised this to show that indeed their capability to pump more water is there. They have to manage the supply. They have a portfolio of options available to them, whether it's groundwater, surface water, desal water. They manage that very well. They know their business. And they have made a commitment to us, working on a staff level, that we are not going to run out of water. There may be some moments where they bump up against their permitted levels, but they're not going to stop at the permitted level capacity. They will provide the water that we need. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our existing infrastructure. So in that South Central area, I'm going to build this map for you to kind of show you where we are. These lines, heavy and light, they basically show our major water transmission mains from the Lithia plant down south. The heavier line would represent a 42-inch line, and the smaller line, weight size, would go down to a 16-inch line. We wanted to show you this because if we put all the lines in, it just becomes too busy to be able to make sense of the map. But in terms of where our major infrastructure is, this is a good representation. So phase one, you approved in June of 2020 a phased approach to improve our delivery capability. And that phased approach says in the next 1 to 3 years, we're going to have some additional capabilities in place to make sure that pressure and flow is not an issue in the short run. The first is our South County repump station. That is additional ground storage tank and additional pumps that we will fill that tank during the off-demand periods. So when people are sleeping, presumptively at night or in the middle of the afternoon when there's not a lot of people at home using water, we'll fill that tank. When high demand periods occur, and typically those are early morning when people are getting up and starting their day, and similarly when they're coming home in the evening time and settling in, we will enhance our ability to provide additional water, both pressure and flow. The second project that we've got short term is our inline booster pump station. That's going to be located in the vicinity of Big Bend Road and Balm Riverview. That will take water that is received from Lithia and boost the pressure. It'll just force it along. There's quite a pressure drop between Lithia and this point. And so we believe that this is the best short-term option to be able to ensure reliability. And then lastly, we're going to put a new 42-inch main in from the booster pump station, and we're going to build that all the way down to State Road 674 and tie it in to the water main at 301. Now that project's a little bit longer lead time. It's a little more expensive. It takes longer to get in place, but that should be in between December of 23 and February 24. With these three projects, we feel very, very confident. And actually the repump station will be done later this year, hopefully November, December. The inline booster pump station about this time next year. So with those new capabilities, our pressure and flow is going to be significantly resolved. So longer term is phase two. This is beyond these short-term projects, couple of years that we're working on. We've got our new AgMart property, and we want to plan and be able to construct new storage, larger storage capabilities, as well as pumping capacity AgMart. The new facility, the new water plant that we've been talking about, we're going to take a look at where is the best location. Is it the landfill? Is it the AgMart property? We're going to be evaluating where that needs to go to best serve our customers and be cost efficient in the process. Tampa Bay Water. Tampa Bay Water is working on right now a well field that will be in that little ellipse in and around the AgMart property area. They're putting in this well field to be able to withdraw a new supply of water that's made possible through our Reclaim Water Recharge program, and we're excited about that. Tampa Bay Water is equally, they're looking at a booster pump station. So we've got a booster pump station, they've got a booster pump station. They're going to be looking at adding pumping capability for their existing infrastructure to push more water to Lithia so that in turn Lithia can pump more water down south. And lastly, we want a completely new secondary supply down south. And we will work with Tampa Bay Water for a new point of connection. We will look at delivering a secondary supply down south so that that single line, that existing single line from Lithia to the booster pump station, that 42-inch line, if something were to ever happen to that line, we refer to that as a single point of failure. If that line were to break, if it were to be damaged, we lose water capability to everybody really south of the Alafaya. So we're talking hundreds of thousands of people, and that's not a place we want to be. So this secondary supply will give us redundancy and reliability. So a summary of our work. Phase 1, currently funded. You authorized us to proceed with Phase 1 back in June. That's our inline booster pump station, our South County repump, and our 42-inch transmission main. Phase 2, which would be all those additional projects, the Agmart pumping, the water campus, our additional supply line point of connection. That is an unfunded project listing right now, and we'll need to be addressing that. So in summary, we have critically important needs in the South area. We are working on the short-term solution. Anything beyond short-term is really unfunded at this point. And if we are going to meet our customer service expectations and our levels of service down the road and reliability, we're going to really need to focus on a plan to get us there. I'm going to walk back in time a little bit and say that in August of 2019, we brought a rate resolution to the board for consideration. It was a 5-year, it was a 6-year, 4% per year rate plan. It addressed the 5 funding priorities that we had previously talked about: the O&M costs, R&R costs, new water and wastewater facilities, septic to sewer, and replacement of LPSS. At that point in time, the board approved 2 years of the 6-year plan. And we thought we would be able to work with that and leverage those increases to go do some of these additional funding opportunities or priority opportunities. What we really found after we crunched the numbers is that those 2 years at 4% really just addressed the operations and maintenance costs that we were struggling to meet. The additional 4 years at 4% gets us the other 4 items: the R&R, the new facilities, the septic to sewer program initiation, and the LPSS conversion. Again, going back to the June board meeting or the public hearing, the board did approve increases in our impact fees. As you are well aware, those impact fees had been static for quite some time, and we right-sized them. We made them appropriate for where we are today in 2020 and certainly 2021. The South Central area went up considerably, not quite double, but it did go up considerably. And for that, we're hopeful that in the years to come, we'll be able to better fund capital needs. Likewise, on the AGRF, which was the accrued guaranteed revenue fee, that pays for operating costs associated with holding capacity and reservation for new connections. It used to be years ago, 1945. It's now 1822. Again, that was reevaluated. It was right-sized for where we are today. And so we've got that, and we're collecting that and helping to offset operations and maintenance costs on the day-to-day basis, which is what it's intent and to be used for. So with that, I will tell you that we are hopeful that the board would consider favorably allowing us to bring forward a new rate resolution at a later board meeting to consider the additional rates necessary so that we could proceed. From a timing perspective, we're in a tight time frame. If we work backwards from an end date that we really need to have new capacity in place, which is 2026 for water, and you work backwards, we really need to be launching something no later than this summer. So we're kind of painted into a corner. But with that, I will open it up for discussion.
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. I see the first hand that's raised here is Commissioner White's hand. You're recognized.
Thank you, George. This is definitely something that's front and center and has the attention of South County residents. I want to thank you and your staff for the talking points that you've provided to me. I was on a couple of radio shows in Sun City Center last week and spoke to a local chamber of commerce today during the lunch hour. And they were incredibly helpful and well received, by the way, from all audiences. So thank you for that. And I also want to thank you for hearing me out on the issue of folks that are trying to irrigate lawns with irrigation wells and pumps and things like that, things that will not impact our municipal water supply. But so with respect to what you'd like to bring to the board in terms of how we address the rates looking forward, can you just, I mean, I know you had a slide on it, but can you just highlight that a bit more as to what exactly the ask will be? Looks like you're going to ask for us to address it for an additional 4 years, if I saw the slide or interpreted the slide correctly. But what exactly would we be looking at in terms of increases or rates for those 4 years?
Yes, Commissioner. So yes, so the ask would be to complete our rate approval plan, and that would be 4 years at 4% per year, beginning October 1 of this year. So it would go through October 1 of 25, I believe.
I mean, that sounds an awful lot like just simply an inflationary rate to me. So I think I'd be inclined to support it. I'd like to maybe sit down with you and just go over the numbers a bit. But you know, I know we have needs there, and I know we've done our part, by the way, as a board, by modernizing the impact fees and making sure that that we're, you know, keeping pace with the demand that this new growth is placing on the system. But I just want to thank you for an excellent presentation today, and thank you again for helping me speak with these groups. And we're already spreading the word in South County that in phase 1, we're going to give a shot in the arm to the system, as I like to put it. And then as we get into phase 2, we're going to do a much, much better job of keeping pace with demand, and I hope not end up in a situation again where pressures are low. So thank you.
Sir. Yeah, thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Cassady, for working so hard and sharpening your pencil to address these serious concerns of our citizens who've had low pressure issues and water restrictions. Can you, I have a few questions about the presentation. Great job. Thank you for being so thorough and yet concise. Can I see page 8, the map there?
I'll pull it. Let me pull it back up.
Yeah.
So you want to go to slide 8?
Yes, with the map and the current and planned water supply. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now this is the south central area in blue, but it's much larger than the area that is on water restrictions right now. So do you want to speak to how that's separated out?
So that's a really good question. And so really the areas that are most impacted by the flow and the pressure is everything south of the Alafaya.
Right.
So we really limited that area to that geographical boundary because that's where the most impact was being felt. So if we, it didn't seem fair or reasonable to make the northwest part of the county, which is not connected to the south central area, to impose the same watering restrictions on them, or people that really wouldn't have skin in the game. So we limited it to everything south of the Alafaya.
Okay. And the number of committed and planned homes and multifamily homes coming online, those are projects with a valid certificate of capacity at this point, or they have the zoning entitlements, or they are the future land use in our comprehensive plan allows that much. Where are you drawing the line of this 6 million gallons we're going to need?
So I will say that the committed component there is letters of approval have gone out. We have given someone an approval letter that says, you go build your house, and when that house is finished, we're going to have water there and wastewater service there. The planned is much less formalized right now. So planned is sort of, we're aware of that development and its they haven't necessarily applied. They haven't got their plans approved yet. So that's in the off wings waiting.
Thank you. And I can see, so the blue area in South County, that's the urban service area. And we do have some developments that are committed outside the urban service area that the county has approved out there. But we have many more coming to us asking for approval. And we have some comp plan amendments in that WVR2 and RP2 area that are asking currently to increase density. And if you could go back to the that slide of the chart, page 9, the next slide. You know, so I'm concerned about where those fall. Are they in these dots in this line of South County water demand?
Yes, ma'am. So all of those numbers that we've got committed are reflected on our projected growth demand curve.
Oh, yes, all the ones that you have that are committed, that the letters have gone out, that have already gotten their approval. But
Right.
But what about people coming to us asking for increases in their density from 1 per 5 to 10 per 5 acres? Multiplying their density by 10 times for 1,000 houses, 1,500, 1,600 houses at a time outside the urban service area. Are those planned for, or every time we were to approve one of those, it's going to raise this demand line up?
Commissioner, that's a good question. I don't know that I can answer that. I can certainly go back and talk to our development services folks and see where that all fits in with this curve. I will say this, obviously our demand curve goes out well beyond 2025, 2026. And so I am pretty sure that what you're looking at is the plan development that's also included on our little graph, and also some other reasonable growth projection that our planning folks have incorporated into a longer term forecast.
And so, thank you. Those first 3 dots on this South County water demand line, those are actual growth. That's the red ones after that are projected. And
Correct.
those first 3 dots coming in 2018, 2019, and 2020, that's the actual rate of demand. And it's my understanding that raised demand more than 7 million gallons a day in the 2 years, and that was unprecedented. And in fact, it was a surprise. It was not projected to go up that fast, that quickly. And so I'm just wondering what assurance we have that it's not going to continue along that line, but instead it's going to flatten out more as is projected here with the red dots.
So, we study these numbers, we study our demands, and we study who is using water and how they're using it. We look at that because it's, we need to understand where the water is going and how it's being used. And one of the observations that we've made is a lot of the new development, almost 100% of the homes going in come with a sprinkler system these days. Everybody wants a green yard. Everybody wants lush landscaping. And so we're not expanding reclaimed water as fast as new homes are coming up and as fast as new lawns are being irrigated. Mm-hmm. So what we've noticed in the South Central in particular is that our per capita use, how much water we would expect a person per day to use, that has gone up appreciably over the last couple of years. We believe it's because of a higher percentage of people irrigating new landscaping.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Um, I'm still wondering about how, you know, these pinch points are still concerning to me at 2024 and 2028. And I'm very grateful for Tampa Bay Water and our water utilities for working together to clarify the details here, that green line of supply that we had seen before, that's our permit capacity, but we actually have a blue line above that that is our system capacity. But what that means is the pipes can handle it. The pipes and pumps can deliver more water, but only, I mean, if they did it consistently, that would be violating our permit. So the green line, as I understand it, is an average of our permitted supply. So we can go a little above that on dry periods or whatever, as long as we go a little bit below that and average, later on after it rains or whatever, and average on that green line for a year. We are good with our permits from the regulating agencies, Swift Mud, DEP. But so we, if our demand increases and we go above that consistently, though, well, our pipes and pumps can supply that as shown on the blue line. But how about our environment? I mean, the reason we have regulations of water pumping is to protect our environment and not over pump our permits. If we were to go above that green line more than we're allowed, we start risking damage to the environment. I mean, it's great to know that the water will still keep coming out of our taps, but at what cost?
That's probably best. I mean, if we wanted to hear, Tampa Bay Water give some supporting dialogue on that, it'd probably be best for the general manager to speak to that if you'd like, Commissioner.
Sure. He's here. He's on the call, isn't he?
He is, yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Chuck Carden. For those of you who don't know, I am the interim general manager, Tampa Bay Water. Also with me is John Kennedy. He's our senior manager for our engineering department. And I appreciate being invited to the call to answer any questions. And you're exactly correct, Commissioner, about how you're reading the graph. The permit is the green line. The blue is our infrastructure capabilities. We do operate between the blue and the green throughout the year, as long as we're under it. As we get closer to the pinch point, we go above the green. The violation of a permit would occur at that point. We would have to go to the district and talk with them, and they have options of either finding us or doing some emergency orders for us. We have had discussions with them on this graph as well. We've had 3 or 4 calls with them to let them know how we're doing and what we're doing. But, we have a water shortage mitigation plan that Tampa Bay Water has in play that tries to, as we approach this, we put into place some things with our member governments to do some conservation measures to not go over it. And then if it does so happen, the plan is to get back under it as quickly as possible. We're talking months. If we have to violate, if it's a violation of the 12-month average, it would be a matter of months to get back under. So that would be handled expeditiously to avoid any environmental impacts over the long term.
Thank you. And thank you very much for being here at this workshop. I just have a couple more questions looking at this. It's so important, and I hope our chair will let me just ask a couple more points.
Keep going.
Thank you. With that rapid growth that we've seen and these pinch points that are coming, I mean, it's clear that in 2028 or 2030 sometime we'll be out of the woods and we could grow like gangbusters and be fine. But it's this next 6 to 8 years that we're going to have to be watchful of, and wondering, and are we prepared for a perfect storm of rapid growth continuing at the same rate as it has the last 3 years, along with a major drought? We haven't had a major drought for 10 years. The average rainfall has been 48 inches ish. But there have been, and there will be, serious droughts where we have had way below normal for 3 years at a time. We've even lost the equivalent of 1 year of rainfall over a 3-year period in the not too distant past. So are we out of the woods? Are we on track even if we have a drought?
Well, as I said earlier, the water shortage mitigation plan is a plan to deal just with that, with an extended drought. It has different phases. It goes to phase 1 all the way to a phase 4, working with the district, and the district working with the member governments, and they can impose some extreme restrictions on watering. We have used it in the past, and we have seen dramatic changes in the water consumption to stop it before it happens. But we are very aware of droughts. We've had them. 2017 was one of the most extreme droughts that we had in almost forever, and we got through that fine. The reservoir's a big help as long as it's full, and we start a season with it full. We get through most droughts using our reservoir to get through. If it's a 3-year drought, that's a little bit extraordinary. I don't think I've ever remember all my years here that we've had something like that, but it could happen. So we plan for it, everything we can imaginable, and we do our best. And so we think we're in good shape. We have the unequivocal obligation as your regional water supplier to give you all the water you need. And we don't intend to break that promise to you or our covenants to that. I will say that George said that earlier. We are going to give you the water you need, and we're all going to get through this together. We're partners. We have a meter that separates us. We're the wholesaler, you're the retailer. We're working on our side. You guys are working on your side, and we're meeting every 2 weeks. We have a memorandum of understanding. So we're working very closely to solve this on both sides of the meter. It's unprecedented how closely we're working together to solve this.
Thank you. One last point. And I appreciate that we are very lucky that we have worked through the water wars. I'm old enough to remember those, and forged this partnership with the regional partnership of Tampa Bay Water. And the agreement there is that, as Mr. Carden just said, Tampa Bay Water is contractually obligated to supply us as much water as we need, regardless of how fast we grow. On the other hand, we do have a state statute, 163.3177, with some subsections that requires us to ensure we can provide water concurrently with growth. State law requires concurrency for water and wastewater, just like we have for schools and like we used to have for transportation. That's another subject. But it's our statutory duty to provide water concurrently with growth. And in there, I think, comes our county obligations under that statute, where it says our county future land use plan and plan amendments shall be based upon surveys, studies, and data regarding the areas applicable, including the availability of water supplies and public facilities and services. And in another subsection of that, it requires us that our coordination of our local comprehensive plan be coordinated with the water management district, and especially in areas of critical state concern, which this is in the Southern Water Use Caution Area, and so is a area of critical concern, to plan our growth in a way that is able to manage it along with the water resource, so we're sure we're able to supply water concurrently. And it won't do any good if we fail in this duty to point at Tampa Bay Water and say, well, they were supposed to supply the water. I think if we fail in this duty. So I think that we are obligated to be making sure when we are presented with these facts and figures by Tampa Bay Water that show these pinch points between supply and demand, and the fact that going over that green line begins to cut into violate our permit of damaging the environmental water resources. I think we need to be a good partner and do our part and ascertain that as we review comp plan amendments per this state statute, we are able to supply water, and not just by requiring all the people south of the Alafaya to go on onerous water restrictions, but and not by violating our water permits, but by actually coordinating our comprehensive plan with our water supply as the state statute requires us to do. So I'm going to be looking into ways that we can work with our water utility to review any upcoming changes to our comprehensive plan amendments that would increase density in this southern area to ensure that we are able to supply water without restricting our citizens or going over our water permits. So that's all I have for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll recognize Commissioner Overman now.
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate that. And thank you, George, and the representatives from Tampa Bay Water for assisting us with understanding how awesome it is that we're working on this. I guess is probably the best part, because we're being proactive about solving a really critically important function as, as county leaders. So I did have a couple of questions. One, I do see that we do need to make a plan for the subsequent 2 years, which is critically important. And I wanted to make sure that we look at that in addition to other impact fee phase-ins that we need to consider for the addressing new growth. Because I've gotten wind that there's a possibility that there may be some arbitrary caps on increases on either fee structures or impact fee structures being considered in the legislature at the moment. And that is raising great concerns with if those numbers are outside of our already approved plan and might impact the increases that we have suggested are due to be approved for those later years, not only with impact fees, but also in our rate charges. So I know we need to discuss that in order to make sure that we're clear on being able to move forward with a well-designed plan and be able to actually implement it without being hamstrung by outside decision-making. But that also being said, to sort of dovetail what Commissioner Smith mentioned about doing everything we can to make sure that we're addressing not only the 23,000 committed properties that could possibly be on the horizon, but also, the additional ones after that we don't really have as much certainty, but we know we've got those 23,000 at least in the queue. There are other methods that we probably in our comprehensive plan and in our zoning to look for ways to minimize the impact of what I think I heard Mr. Cassady say, is people like their lawns, and I know they do. I know everybody loves their landscaping because we live in a beautiful place. But a lot of our landscaping is very conducive to lower water needs if it's put in to begin with. So I was curious with the friendly plan, you know, if we were to adopt that as part of our required landscaping plan for additional growth in areas that are strained with water usage, or it's evident that properties that have been developed and then all of a sudden have a lot of grass and have a lot of sprinklers and use a lot of water, you know, is there something that we as a government should consider in order to preserve that precious water resource? You know, because we do have various different, and I know Swiftmud and Tampa Bay Water have looked at this, and where we're, you know, injecting reclaimed water in order to keep desalinization of our water sources along our shores. You know, if we continue to ignore the fact that this is a limited resource, those types of strategies wouldn't be required in this new development sort of landscape area. And I'd hate to see us go, wow, we should have done that. So, I mean, I'd like to have a conversation about what kind of strategies we can do to really be conservationist and a precious resource. But then I do need to get some resolution on the fee structure issue and the impact fee structure, how that may be impacted by a July 1st enact date by our current legislators. I'll stop there.
Thank you. And I know we have a couple more commissioners on here, but I think might be most logical for me to move in here and ask some questions that also pertain to what the other commissioners raised as far as all of this goes. And great points, great discussion, important, as we've all said, very important discussion. I guess just a little bit off of talking about what Commissioner Overman said in terms of water conservation and landscaping. You know, we didn't have it presented to us here, but what about, how does it work? I mean, we haven't heard anything that I can recall in terms of pricing for our water use, and, you know, the cost of pricing out, you know, the kinds of water use that might be used for pools and landscaping, as opposed to just, or very lush landscaping, as opposed to, you know, just the average home or the lower income home.
Well, we already have in our rate structure, we already have a water conservation based rate structure. And so what does that mean? Well, what it means is as you use more water, the rate per 1,000 gallons will go up, and we use it in blocks. So your first from 0 to 5,000 gallons is at a certain rate. And then from 5,001 to 10,000 gallons, it's at a higher rate. And so by design, that's intended to say you're going to use more, you're going to pay more. I think for many people it works really well to be conscientious about how much water you're using. But then again, I think for a new home going in, and they've got exemptions to watering restrictions as the ordinance currently exists, and they pour the water on it. And so it's difficult. It's just difficult to manage your demand when someone's got the sprinkler running every day.
I just wonder too, if there might be some more looking at that in terms of, maybe looking at those impacts, and, maybe it isn't priced quite appropriately. I don't know what metrics or measures you use or how it measures against others. I'm just suggesting. The other topic that Commissioner Overman brought up was about impact fees. So as you know, I'm like a dog with a bone here. But when was the last, I know we recently adopted these impact fees, but I don't know when that study was done because we've been so hesitant to ever, adopt these studies. And so when was that, the water wastewater impact fee study conducted that finally raised these rates?
It would have been right previous to the board taking action. So I think our rate consultant, Rob Ory, is on the phone also. And I believe Rob and his team, finished that study just months in advance of board taking action.
Okay, I wanted to confirm that. The other, and maybe it's good that you have the impact fee, the person who conducted the study on the phone with us. And this is just a kind of sideline, but I was a little surprised that our capacity impact fee, the AGRF, actually went down from what it was previously, considering all the capacity needs we have, that it went down from 1945 to 1822. As well, it's lower than the city of Tampa charges. And I wondered if that could be explained a little.
Yeah. So again, the AGRF is solely the carrying cost, the operating cost of holding that capacity in reservation for a single family home to connect in. And so Rob and his team looked at, what our current operating costs were and what that attendant maintenance requirement would be. And I think one of the biggest impacts really was the fact that we consolidated our operations in the Northwest. If you recall, we expanded the Northwest plant and we retired 2 aging facilities. And I think what that did was effectively reduced our per ERC maintenance costs.
I also, when you put up the 6 years and you just put 4% increase, when we of course looked at this before, it was much more precise in terms of what each month's would go for. And the other thing that I think our new commissioners didn't learn, which I wished had been, and it was a very good presentation, and we needed to focus on these things, but for them, I think 2 of the things that, or part of the issue that I would like them to understand a little bit better was the number of septic and well that we have in our urban service area. I think if you, I think it's 60,000 to my mind in the urban service area. Is that correct, George?
It's 26, Commissioner, 26,000.
Just 26 in the urban service area. Okay. I mean, I know it's very big, but I thought it was way bigger.
That's a bit, well, 122,000 across the entire county, but that includes Plant City, City of Tampa, outside our urban service area. So
I see.
In the cumulative, it's 122,000. In our particular confined service area, it's 26,000.
26,000. Okay. And then how many, we have 2 low pressure sewer systems, and for our new commissioners, I've been dealing with this since way back. In fact, that's how I met Commissioner Smith when she was an activist railing against Ruskin low pressure sewer system. And I was an aide to Commissioner Castor back when, and I was told at the time, we were told that was totally all you needed, and that it was a standard system and that it operated well. The problem for our newer commissioners is, Ruskin and Waimama will never be able to realize the kind of economic development, the urban service area numbers with this substandard low pressure sewer system is a real liability for these areas. So, we've been talking about doing replacement on those, and I could go through a slew of issues, as you well know, with regards to these, but how many people are using those systems in Ruskin and Waimama? Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am. We have about 1,500 LPSS systems in the Ruskin and Waimama area combined. And you're right on point. I mean, that system is very maintenance intensive for us. It also represents probably our Achilles heel when it comes to environmental impacts. It's not uncommon for the power to go out on these homes that feed the power to the pumps that feed the system. And if the power goes out for whatever reason, then there can be an overflow. So we respond to more wastewater overflows in that geographical area than we really do anywhere else. So we are equally interested in bringing that system offline.
So when you say 1,500, you don't mean 1,500 homes. You mean 1,500 systems with multiple residents connected up. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted in terms of the monthly breakdowns that you gave prior was that you had, and this is again from memory, but it was like generally $5 to $6 a month that the increases were for these bills. And about $1.45 was dedicated to replacing septic and sewer, and another, I think it was something like 45 cents to replacing the low pressure sewer system that was going to be collected over time.
Something the sewer separate.
I'm sorry?
Rob, you're on.
Sorry.
So Commissioner, so in the previous public hearing and rate resolution that we had, we got very detailed and a representative breakdown of if we did a 4%, what would that represent in an average monthly bill increase? And if your bill raised $4, and I'm just pulling a number out of the sky, but if it raised $4, how would we apportion that with these 5 funding priority areas? What did that look like? Where was the money going? I did not include that here because that wasn't really the intent. The intent was to go over our needs in South County, but we can certainly provide that detailed breakdown, make it current for today versus where we were 2 years ago.
Well, the reason I'm concerned is that I don't know that we'll be able to have the opportunity to, I think if it mimics the last time, and I know that the staff at this time has been way more responsive and in informing us than we've been in the past. But here's my concerns going forward, because we're going to be looking at these rates again, obviously. That's kind of what this is predicated on today. So what I'm concerned about is that I would like kind of set aside lockbox separate for certain amounts within these rates for septic to sewer and for the low pressure system, so that they're just not eaten up and that's not done. We just turn over the money, or if a new administration comes in the future and just kind of decides not to do that, and that they even sunset out after the problem's taken care of, which is going to be quite a long time with septic and well. But further, I'd like to prioritize, because I know it needs to be, is initially dealing with our low pressure sewer systems it's lower cost, it's a lesser problem, and it's an immediate problem, because as long as we keep it up, as you've explained, every new house that's individually built there has to be a $26,000 tank installed to accommodate this substandard poor system that we're getting rid of. So I also like to have that be the priority for until we get those 2 systems paid for. And I just think it's very important for economic development, for the numbers that the urban service area can do, and really what we owe to Ruskin and Waimama to replace those systems. So I'd like when this proposal comes back to include, and I'm saying this to Ms. Wise and when we go further, to include those to accommodate and have separate accounts and accounting and be explicit, have explicit parts to those 2 major issues I see for our water and wastewater system for the future. And then finally, let's see, I think I've asked everything. I just have one more question. So, and this might be more appropriate for Ms. Wise. I'm sorry, I didn't get to get in touch today. But so the $85 million for the water and wastewater system, is that the bonding that was recently done? Because I just understood that from what Mr. Cassady gave me, I had thought the whole system was bonded out, all the water and wastewater that we were putting on the homeowners through our taxes. And then I had seen that it was just bonded out in 2002, 2006. Is that, so this would be the first time that we've done bonding since 2006 on this system?
It is, Commissioner. So we have not bonded since the 2006. And I believe from talking to our finance folks that those bond issuances were retired when we refinanced for the new Northwest consolidation. So we wrapped in all of our other debt and refinanced that at that time. So there's no outstanding singular bond issuance against the assessment program. What we're working on right now, because quite frankly, the phase one improvements, the total estimated cost of phase one is something around $200 million. That and most of that cost is in that 42-inch pipeline that goes south and provides that additional flow capability. You know, we had to dig into the couch cushions to get every penny, nickel, and dime we could find. And one of the things that we ended up doing was leveraging the assessments to bond against them. And so I believe we're just south of $60 million in a total proposed bond issuance.
And I have one other question, actually. And this is just in terms of when you know, most people think about, I think we don't see the pipes. We see our roads. So we know these narrow roads that go out into where there are not people, and there's, you know, they're totally substandard for all the houses that are being put you know, in the neighborhoods around them, and we do design exceptions so we don't have the sidewalks and whatever. One of the issues, as I understand it, with the pipes is one of the issues, and we have low pressure issues at times now, that the more winding and long and kind of the neighborhood in the past decade or two, the kind of neighborhood to cul-de-sac design instead of the grid design leads to pipes that are a much more, as you referred to in the beginning, many more miles of pipe. And someday we're going to be, you know, it's a liability for us. We're going to be having to replace those pipes, liability rather than an asset when we take possession of those pipes. So you know, part of it, the design is not only in the cost of our future liabilities, but also, as I understand it, in the cost of water pressure, that these longer winding pipes we have to keep more water in them in order to maintain water pressure. Can you just talk about that for a second?
So when our engineers, whether it's the developer's engineers or our own engineers, are looking at how we distribute water, how we move water from point A to point B, everything has to do, obviously, with the size of the pipe, the amount of water that you're trying to push from point A to point B, and there are all kinds of calculations that they go through. And so, yes, a straight pipe probably has less of a friction loss than a winding pipe or a pipe that does loops. But again, it's incumbent upon our planning staff and others to look at what's necessary to keep the water moving. If a developer puts in a curved street, I can tell you that a curved pipe is going to go in to be able to connect the customers. And I don't know that there's much that we can do about that.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking in the future when we're just thinking about this in terms of our liability and design and everything else. And part of that is being done already. The built form all over the country and here, as well as changing back to the original grid, which, you know, serves the purpose of both roads and pipes and moving things along and not wasting resources and being efficient. But I just wanted to throw that in there, food for thought. And with that, I'm finished, and I'll call on Commissioner Cohen.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I just want to say this has just been a tremendously informative workshop, and I want to thank the commissioners that went before for very, very good questions. I actually don't have that many because so many of the ones I was going to ask already got covered. I want to also just say at the beginning, after just a few months on Tampa Bay Water, it's been very clear to me how closely Tampa Bay Water and our staffs have been working together to address this problem. And as we delved into it, one of the things that was really gratifying is that there really are two distinct sets of projects, some by the county, some by the water authority, to deal with this. And I think you could tell from the quality of Commissioner Smith's questions that time on Tampa Bay Water has been very well spent, because we really can understand exactly what's coming online when. I want to just ask a couple of questions. First of all, in terms of the 4% a year rate increase that you are suggesting to us, it says that it'll provide for renewal and replacement, water and wastewater treatment facilities for phase 2, septic to sewer program, and the low pressure sewer system conversion. Does that mean that if those 4 years are approved, all 126,000 septic to sewers that exist in Hillsborough County would be solved, or does it just mean the 23,000 in our portion of the urban service area? How much of that actually gets covered by this?
Yeah, really good question, Commissioner. So it's our bite of the apple is going to be just the 26,000 that are in our service area.
So the city of Tampa and Northwest Hillsborough and anything in the rural service areas would not be covered by that assessment.
Actually, we do include the Northwest service area as part of this 26,000, but the rural area, no. Plant City, no. And City of Tampa, no.
Okay. And then also on the low pressure sewer system conversion issue that Commissioner Kemp was just talking about, how much of this gets completed as if this is fully enacted?
If the program is fully funded, then we had estimated a 5-year program. We would do 300 per year until all 1,500 were replaced. And I will add that right now we have design proceeding for the conversion of the LPSS system to a conventional system or another alternative, better system than what's in place right now. So if funding were available by October 1, we could actually launch a bid for construction.
My calculation, I did some calculating before. My calculation was a 4% increase, corresponded to about a $3.40 increase on the average homeowner's water bill. Does that sound about in the right ballpark for you?
Your math is right on point. It's about that. Now that would solely depend on how much water you're calculating your bill on. So if you use 5,000 gallons versus 7,000 versus 10,000, obviously that would change. But on about a 6,000 gallon per month usage, which is maybe a normal single family home, a small family, 6,000 is about right. And so it would be about $3 to $4.
Okay. And then I just wanted to follow up on one thing Commissioner Smith was talking about, and it had to do with the chart with the permitted versus the actual delivery capacity that we received at Tampa Bay Water, and that at first I think both of us were a little taken aback by. And further explanation has clarified that there may be more water available than the permitted capacity. But Commissioner Smith talked about the environmental impact of violating the permit, which is absolutely, no question, very, very important. But I just wanted to ask, what is the legal ramification of going above the permit? I mean, is it, I know that when the school district does certain things, when they go over certain limits, the state comes in and takes the school district over. So what actually happens if you violate the permit?
Well,
Excuse me. Can we just have everybody turn off their mics unless they're speaking? We're just getting a lot of extraneous noise. Thank you.
Commissioner, to answer your question, the violation of the permit would bring SwiftMud in with a violation notice to us, and they would sit down and in the past, they've issued to other people a fine, a daily fine that keeps going up until you get under it. there is discussions, and sometimes when they understand that it couldn't have been avoided, they will issue an emergency order to allow you a temporary to do it, to exceed it, but it is generally a fine by day until you get under it.
So I mean, it is gratifying to know that the water would be available to us in the pinch, but aside from the very real environmental issues, there really could be significant financial penalties if that happens.
Correct. And I'll just say from Tampa Bay Water's behalf, that is not something we are going to do. We'll try everything not to go over the green. It's something, you know, we can look at a graph and say, well, we can go all the way to the blue. That is not what is in our culture here to do. We are doing everything to not.
So my final question, and this is because I know there are others that are waiting to speak as well. If we do all of the things that are in this plan, we have, I think Commissioner Smith mentioned it earlier, we have a short term, a medium term, and a long term issue, and I think we see that by 2028 we're going to be fine on the long term front. If we do the things that are outlined in this plan, you feel reasonably comfortable that we can supply water to our population for the next 6 years to get to that point, 6-8 years.
Yes, sir. But again, it takes both sides working together. We'll give you all the water you need, but you know, anything you can do on your side to help us would also be greatly appreciated. So we're working together as a team. We can get you all the water you need. You do have improvements on your side, so getting our side done, and you're not, you know, having some issues, it's not going to help, and vice versa. If you're all ready to go and we aren't there, so both sides need to work together and to get this done.
So, you know, to the earlier point, obviously a drought would be something that could significantly impact everything that we're talking about here. The other thing is, you know, we didn't talk a whole lot about reclaimed water. You know, Commissioner Overman, Commissioner Kemp talked about perhaps changes in you know, the types of landscaping that are used. Another thing, of course, is to be able to supply more reclaimed water to people for use in irrigating their lawns, and you know, that I think is something that we're also going to need to look at as a way of perhaps boosting the amount of drinking water quality water that's available. So thank you very, very much. This has just been great information, and Commissioner White said it earlier, but thank you for the talking points. There's been a lot of questions about this, and it's been really great to be able to answer people with very, very specific information about what's going on. So thank you.
Glad to help.
And Commissioner Myers, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. First, I'd just like to say I appreciate hearing this educational experience on our South Central water demand. I've learned a lot from our senior commissioners who've been talking about this and have been in the trenches for this for quite some time. I just have a couple of questions, and it's regarding phase 2 of the unfunded. How will we fund phase 2?
Good question, Commissioner. So it begins with, it would really begin with approving the additional 4 years at 4%. That would allow us the opportunity to really go out on the bond market and secure bonds. You know, if we had the luxury of time, we could let our capital fund build up over a number of years to be able to cash fund capital improvements. In this particular case, we don't have that luxury. So what'll happen is the rates being approved, if you were to consider those favorably, that would allow us to bond market and borrow upfront the money. Now, the good news is longer term is between impact fees accumulating and being right-sized on AGRF and that, we could retire any borrowed monies early, typically not before 10 years, but it would take us about 10 years to build up enough cash reserves to be able to buy something down.
And the reason I asked this question, and I appreciate Commissioner White going out in the community, South County, to share this information that you've given him, George, for the civic engagements with the community. I think that is real critical because it is now, we might as well say we're in the month of March, just about. And we're going to be getting ready to vote for this before October, okay? And we want to make sure that our citizens feel very comfortable with what's coming with a rate increase, et cetera, before they're coming to us with the reverse. I didn't know about it, I didn't hear about it, but the more that we can have conversations about this rate increase in South County, the better it'll be for us as board members.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so however we can market it and talk about it at every opportunity that we have, I certainly would have pushed that with staff. Well, that was a key question. Most of the other two questions, one was answered when Commissioner Cohen asked his question. So I don't have any more questions, but I truly appreciate hearing the comments and sharing this information with me today.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, and seeing no more hands up except for the commissioners who just spoke. And I don't see anyone else with comments or questions at this time. So thank you very much. Strong presentation. We got a lot of, I think, very helpful discussion and points made. And at this point, we'll adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you all.
Great workshop. Thank you.